So, I'm contending that there are two different types of sin. Sorry, I was just contemplating a line. But I contend, I'm putting this forward that there are two different sins, two different kinds of sins. There's the sin that we know about and the sin that we're unbeknownst about, unwitting about, ignorant. Now, we all know what mens rea is. We have to be found capable of knowing that we are willingly in knowledge of what we're doing, what we did. So that is true with God as well when we talk about sin in man. The mind is capable of making mistakes. It's not perfect, right? We know this. So it's understandable that, we could be ignorant or unbeknownst to sin. In fact, it could be so natural to us that we do it without even knowing we're doing it because it's so natural. Like, I lied for so long. Well, no, I know when I lie because if I know the truth and I tell something different, then it's a lie. But God help me that I don't do that, which I do pretty good at not lying because I have nothing to hide behind. All right, so anyway, so there's willing sin. That's the sin that God sees and knows that it's enmity with him. The scripture says to know to do the right thing, but don't do it. Which we know the opposite of that would be not doing the right thing. So, to know to do good and not do it, to him it is sin. So, the opposite of that is not knowing it's sin, not knowing it's wrong, or not able to catch it before it happens. To be transparent, honest about it, I sin, but it's not because I know it's wrong to do it and do it anyway. God help me if I've made a mistake. And if I do sin and I do catch it later on, I can catch it like after I do it, but it's just so natural. I've done it for so long. This flesh is unprogrammable. It really has, without having a mind, but it has a mind of its own. That's what we call the nature. So if I stub my toe and I curse, that's not me. That's my flesh acting out, I guess. That's the closest thing I can think of right this second. Or, temptation overcomes someone. We know it's possible to be overtaken by temptation or whatever the case may be. As we know, 1 Corinthians 10:13, there's no brain fart. Oh man, I can't think of it. 1 Corinthians 10:13. There's no temptation overtaking you, but such is common to man. That means it happens to man. It happens to mankind. It happens to man and woman. But God has a way of an escape. so we can bear our shame from committing this sin, right? And that's what it is. I mean, if we're truly changed and we are not like we used to be, then when we find ourselves in sin or we find ourselves doing something that we know we shouldn't be doing, contrition comes upon our spirit, and our heart like breaks because we don't want to offend God. We don't want to be disobedient to God. We don't want to be like we used to be, right? So, I mean, that's another thing. God searches the heart. If we don't have a broken heart and contrite spirit, which I think the two culminate together, we're not changed. He can see that. Like, if I sin and I don't care, I did it, okay, and I'm fine with it. Now that's sin. I mean, he knows the heart, what the heart's thinking what the heart's doing. I got to get to work.